everybody, how's it going? It's Solo back here with another daily update video. It is Monday, start of the trading week, and although I may sound a little peppy in my voice, it was not a great day for me personally because I feel like whatever could go wrong for me today went wrong. I mean, there is a little bit of a silver lining there in that I did not open up any bad positions, but the positions I already have opened are not doing so well. And also, the positions I thought about opening this morning, I didn't, and I really missed out on a lot of gains. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter because I know my video last night was a little bit longer, but again, there was just a lot of information that I wanted to get out there, and I feel like I don't want to shortchange people. So if you need to watch it on 1.5 or 1.75 or 2x speed, then by all means do it. But I really appreciate the views. And I don't want to clip out or cut out information that I think is important, because I think one of the things that separates me from other channels and a lot of the feedback that I've gotten from people is that they like that I actually explain things more clearly or more thoroughly and just explain my thought process. So if that's what the people want, it's going to take a little bit more time. So you can always speed up the video if you want to, or if you need to, if some of this is a little bit too beginner level for you, but it is what it is. So looking at the heat map here, you can see mixture of green and red on the board, but there's actually a lot of red, which I feel like doesn't accurately reflect kind of what went on today. So if you were basically living under a rock, today was the day that Apple and Tesla's splits kind of went through, or they would have shown up on your brokerages. And you know, I kind of predicted this because if you were in the Discord, you know, I was kind of calling this out over the weekend that some brokerages, and I won't name who, we're having issues with displaying the options chains over the weekend. I'm sure a lot of people had funky values if they owned shares or options on Tesla or Apple over the weekend. And then even this morning when the market opened, I will say it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but some people were reporting that their apps or their brokerages were acting a little funky, or at least for me personally, I know on Robinhood, the Tesla options chain wasn't up for the first few minutes when the market opened, which was a little bit concerning. And not only was the options chain not up, but the ability to buy or sell Tesla wasn't up either. Now, it didn't affect me personally because I did not have any shares of Tesla or Apple, and the Tesla spread that I had last week expired on Friday. So thankfully it didn't affect me, but I'm sure there were people out there where people were getting a little bit frustrated with their brokerages possibly because they couldn't even see a trade, let alone make a trade. But anyway, big tech today was kind of the name of the game because, you know, it was either going to go two ways. I thought that once the market opened up today and Tesla and Apple split and the shares became cheaper, that people that maybe that couldn't have afforded these tickers before, and now that they're a little bit more affordable, that they were going to jump in there and go gung-ho on them. Or people like me that maybe couldn't have sold cash secured puts or played options on them because they was a little bit too rich, can now trade options on them. So it was either going to be really green for those tickers and likely, you know, QQQ and other tech stocks as well, or there was a huge run up until today. And I think a lot of that was with the expectation that these shares were going to rise. So there could have also been a lot of profit taking, and those stocks, in my opinion, could have gone down, you know, pretty big. But I was wrong, and both these stocks took off like a rocket. We'll get into them in a little bit. But semis also took off. I mean, again, AMD, you know, there was TA out there on TradingView and such where people were calling for a breakout on AMD when it was in the 80s, saying that it was going to go up to 90 now. And lo and behold, today, AMD up 6.2%. As far as I know, no new good news came out. Nothing. There was like no catalyst that I came across. So AMD just doing what AMD seems to do right now, but up 6.2%. It broke above 90. So I'm going to go ahead and say 100 is now the new kind of breakout point. But Micron, again, you know, down 0.4%. It's at 45. You know, like I said in my previous videos, it seemed like 42-ish was kind of the recent lows or where the support is for Micron. I did look into maybe opening up some cash secured puts on Micron, but the premiums just were not good at all. I mean, if you wanted to get a decent premium, you would have to get Micron at 43, 44, which wasn't too far away from the share price, so I stayed away. Nvidia had a nice little bump here, up 1.7%, but Other than that, like Google was flat, Facebook was flat, Microsoft was actually down 1.5%. And I actually looked, because I saw Microsoft was red at 1.5 down, I looked to see if I could get into some put credit spreads on Microsoft, because it's a little bit too rich for me to sell cash good puts on. But the premiums on Micron were also like very bad, and it, in my opinion, just wasn't worth the return on risk for me. But that's how the day kind of panned out. Let's take a look on Robinhood how Tesla was. So take a look. I mean, we opened up pretty much flat around 444 based on where we closed Friday. Tesla ran up over 12.5%, and it's still continuing to climb after hours. It's up another 2.2% after hours. Tesla ran up from 444 and some change to over 500 in one trading day. And as of right now, there's no end in sight. I mean, it's crazy. I know in some of my previous videos, maybe a week or so ago now, I was talking about maybe buying some Tesla calls, like buying the calls. In retrospect, if I had a time machine, I should have done that, because they would have printed so much money, I feel like, right now. But yeah, Tesla does what Tesla does. I mean, I'm sure Apple's graph looks identical. Let's take a look at Apple. So, yep, I mean, it opened up green, opened up 2.3% up almost. Traded, you know, it wasn't as much of a run up as Apple was, but it did end up closing the day up about 3.5%, a little bit more. And it's kind of been up and down after hours, a little bit flat overall. But, you know, if you had shares of Apple or Tesla, you're looking pretty good right now. If you had bought calls on those tickers, you're looking pretty good. If you had put credit spreads or cash secured puts, you're looking pretty good. So it's just crazy, because personally, I think that this is all just one big tech bubble. And the real question is, how big can this bubble get before it pops? And I just don't want to be the one holding the bag when the bubble pops, but we'll have to wait and see. It's kind of like a game of musical chairs where the music is still going, but you never know when the music is going to stop. But anyway, let's talk about the trades that I already have positions open on. So, you know, last Friday, I opened up a weekly covered call, actually 2 contracts, on Virgin Galactic at the $19 strike price. And Virgin Galactic, you know, they gapped up this morning. They opened up 3.8%. So I thought this is going to be a great week. We're going to be big green. You know, space is going to be above 20 by end of day Friday. Maybe I'll look into rolling my calls out so I can get some stock appreciation. And then we pretty abruptly, you know, basically dipped down all the way to where we closed Friday. Then we rallied back a little bit. So we ended up closing the day in the high 17s. So, you know, in retrospect, if I had not opened my covered calls on Friday and waited until this morning, I would have gotten about $10 to $20 more in premium per contract. So that was a little bit of money left on the table in hindsight. But then even now, even though we had the dip and we closed up higher, I'm still a little bit negative. So I sold covered calls expiring this Friday, September 4th at a strike price of $19, and I sold them for $31 in premium. And you can see, even at the end of the day today, they're going for $39. So I left $8 per contract on the table right now, even by the end of the day, even though one full trading day has expired. So what are you gonna do? You know, you just can't time everything perfectly, but a little bit bummed out about that I left some taco money on the table here. But then, to make matters worse, if you saw my videos last week, you know I accidentally bought a 300 strike call on QQQ. And at the time, QQQ was trading in like 292, 293-ish. So my initial reaction was, oh no, there's no way QQQ is going to get to 300 by end of day September 4th. Let me try and manage this position and turn it into a spread. That way, I turned it into a Theta Gang play. So what I did was, since I had bought the 300 strike call for this Friday, and I bought it for $154 or $1.54 per share, I decided then to turn it into a spread, a call credit spread. And then so I sold the $2.99 call, because before, with just the naked call, my max loss was the price that I paid for that option. So my max loss was on $154. But now, by turning into a spread that's only $1 wide from 300 to 299, my max loss is only $100. So I was able to reduce my max loss by $54 immediately by turning it into a spread. And then I sold that for $173. So my max profit on this spread that expires this Friday is 173 minus 154 is $19, which is, not that bad. It's not that great either, but I, in my mind, turned a bad play into an okay play. I mean, if you think about it, my return on capital or return on risk is going to be $19 of max profit divided by $100 of max loss without taking into account the premiums that I would have received. So it's really a 19% return on risk, which is actually not pretty bad. But, this was just a play that I didn't want to be in to begin with. So I'm now trying to make the best of that situation. But to make matters worse, there was a time during the day, because QQQ rallied all day long, that actually the call that I bought was profitable by about $20. So if I didn't open up the spread, I would have been up about $20 just on the call, and I could have sold it today and made 20 bucks. But because I opened up the spread, I'm actually down almost $20 because obviously you have to take into account both options. So I was only down $5 end of day Friday. So I really thought, okay, theta decay is going to happen a little bit over the weekend. And then, come Monday, come Tuesday, theta is going to eat away at the premiums. So I should be able to break even or at least make a little bit of taco money as profit. But, it's like the worst case scenario that I'm even more in the red than I was on Friday, meaning the other Greeks changed so much that they overshadowed the change in theta, which, just kind of stinks. But so I've left money on the table for my space plays. I'm even in a worse position on my QQQ spread because if I'd left my call alone, I actually would have been profitable. So just an overall kind of like funky day for me. I left a message in the Discord server saying something just doesn't feel right with me. I feel off, meaning I feel like I'm out of the zone. And I kind of thought about that and I said, these are the days where you don't want to force a trade. You just got to get yourself out of this funk. And so I was perfectly fine being cash today because, like I said, I just didn't feel like I was in the zone. And the last thing I needed to do was open up a bad trade and, become even more in the red. I think given enough time, my space play obviously will theta decay out and hopefully I'll get max profit by Friday and or get my shares called away. So I think with enough time, my Virgin Galactic shares are going to be okay. The QQQ spread is what I'm most worried about just because we had this huge run up because of Tesla and Apple today that QQQ is trading at $2.95. So it's only $4 away from my lowest strike on my spread. So I'm kind of getting nervous about that. I think I really need a pullback in the market. I need a red day because I think if that happens, if we have a red day tomorrow because of the huge green day today, then I think I should be able to either break even or make a little bit of taco money off that spread and just close it out. It's just causing me too much stress for $19 in max profit. And like I said, this was a position that I didn't want to be in to begin with. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but that was my trading day today. Again, I'm going to keep this video a little bit on the shorter side. Let me know how your trading day was. Let me know if you had any plays on Apple or Tesla, because I'm sure you're probably in the green right now. If you have any questions or comments, get in the Discord server while you still can. Tomorrow, after market hours, is when we're going to go fully paid. So if you still want to check it out for free, the link is in the description below. And if you can't get in the Discord server, always leave a question or a comment in the YouTube section below. I'll try and get to them as quickly as I can. And happy trading.